sir.
6,000 for ninth, guys. That's beautiful.
Sonny Schmidt, who went on to win the Masters Olympia title a few times. Charles Claremonti was an amazing bodybuilder. His conditioning was unreal.
Way underrated.
Yeah.
I like the lore of Andreas Munzer, just how peeled he got. I think a lot of that was genetic too, though. You know what I mean? Like just the way the tissue looked.
Right.
I remember being like sort of disturbed because I read that he ate a lot of horse meat.
Really? I never knew that.
He was Austrian, and I remember reading that he ate horse meat.
If I would have known that, I probably would have eaten horse meat through my bodybuilding days. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up on a farm with horses, and they was not something that we would eat.
Yeah, you don't eat horses. Yeah.
They're like your friends, you know? Hey, everybody. Welcome to It's Just Bodybuilding Reacts. And today we're doing the 93 Olympia, one of the craziest Olympias ever. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
IamMutant.com, born hardcore. Get your ISO surge, get your all in, and everyone should get on the gear. Dusty 20, Big Ron 20, Think Big Media Patreon. There you go. Keep a producer homed. Go to the Patreon. Sign up, price of a cup of coffee. Okay, we are off. 93 Olympia.
Yes.
Not
and this is from
shot of Lou.
Mr. Olympia. This is from All Mr Olympia videos. He's got a bunch of them up there, so if you guys want to go back, you can watch all of these.
Crazy channel.
Yeah.
Ron Love.
Wait, I missed Ron.
Yeah. Go back a few seconds.
I was looking down. Let me see.
No. You gotta watch this again. Just go back a few seconds.
A little bit further. Okay.
There you go, right there.
Oh, there he is.
Right there.
Hell yeah.
Dorian, Aaron Baker, Sonny Schmidt.
Sonny.
Lou.
I told you that story about how I smoked a joint with Sonny Schmidt, right?
I can't remember, but it sounds like an amazing story.
Yeah, in the middle of a nightclub. He just lit it up.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, are we going to get kicked out? He's like, no.
That's amazing.
Dorian, 257 pounds. And this was the year, man. I remember there's Labrada at like 190. Just crazy times.
Oh, he looks
looking
so
awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
First call out.
These guys look freaking nasty peeled.
Remember Wayne D'Amelia's voice back then? Flex, Shawn,
yeah.
Dorian. You know?
I hated him the whole time. Whoa, what happened?
Oh, there we go. Whoops, there we go. There we go.
That last bit, I'm glad you got it in time for that. That's where the show ended.
Holy crap.
I feel like this is the example of like as good as Flex looks, as good as Shawn looks, like he won as soon as he did the front relax. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Dorian just looks nuts. I like how they used to stand on the rear dub with the knees like close together instead of wide, feet close.
Holy crap.
And the condition of the glutes and everything. Shawn shredded head to toe. Look at Ray.
Everybody.
They're just all nuts. Flex doesn't quite have the hardness in the glutes that Shawn and Dorian have. But Flex's back is, look at the lat spread on these guys. All their Christmas trees are just completely striated. Which is like, the criticism of the modern guys is the Christmas trees aren't what they were at like this show, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that even in the 90s, the videos decided that we wanted to see them from the front when it was a back post. It's good to know we've hated that for this long.
Yeah. It's been a long
Just stay
time.
right here. You don't need to film any other angle. Just this. We're good.
Right.
I forget how good Shawn Ray was every time I see him.
Look at the midsections on those guys.
Jesus. Just standing there, too. Look at him. Just standing there.
Lee,
Crazy.
Kevin, Paul. You can just hear Wayne D'Amelia's voice. What is the audio actually? Is it just like generic music over this?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not actually hearing
We
the
don't
call-outs.
need that.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So I can continue to just do the call outs.
Yeah, you can be Wayne.
Dang. Oh, man.
Now, what's Paul weigh there? 270? And then Labrada's 190?
Yeah. and beating him.
And Levrone's what, 240?
God, Levrone is my forever favorite bodybuilder. For anybody who's curious, insanity.
Oh, Charles Clermonti, Andreas Munzer, and Sonny Schmidt.
Man, all three of these guys are looking just crazy too.
Of course, some guys will go, these videos are extra sharp.
Right.
Yeah.
So here is Flavio Baccanini standing next to Lou Ferrigno. That was a famous shot in a magazine. And then the guy on the left is Hamdullah Akliba. I can't remember his last name, but he's an Egyptian bodybuilder who won the worlds a few times and then finally took the pro card, went to the States, kind of got killed in the pros because he wasn't big enough.
But
I believe he rescinded his pro card and went back to being an amateur because they get like paid in Egypt as like,
oh yeah,
Right. Yeah. A lot of countries do that.
represent the country at the international shows.
man.
So-
Talk
Great
about
flex his
split
waist.
to the hip too.
So now you notice Dorian is not in this call out.
At all. Yeah,
They don't need him anymore.
We are done with Dorian for the day. He did one round. Now it's Shawn,
Dude.
Flex, and Lee.
Imagine being able to beat Flex that handily when he looks like that. Like, that's the part that blows my mind. Both Flex and Shawn seen alone are Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
I'm big so.
yeah.
Dorian comes out and hits a couple shots himself just for the fans.
Yeah, he's like, are you not going to call on me?
Kevin was so young there. That's wild.
Munzer, Charles Clermonti, 10th place for Lou.
All right. Munzer.
6,000 for 9th, guys. That's beautiful.
Sonny Schmidt, who went on to win the Masters Olympia title a few times. Charles Clermonti was an amazing bodybuilder. His conditioning was unreal.
Way underrated.
Yeah.
I like the lore of Andreas Munzer, just how peeled he got. I think a lot of that was genetic too, though. You know what I mean? Like just the way the tissue looked.
Right.
I remember being like sort of disturbed because I read that he ate a lot of horse meat.
Really? I never knew that.
He was Austrian, and I remember reading that he ate horse meat.
If I would have known that, I probably would have eaten horse meat through my bodybuilding days. You know what I'm
I
saying?
grew up on a farm with horses, and they were not something that we would eat.
Yeah, you don't
ride
eat
them.
horses. Yeah.
You're
They're like your friends, you know? I felt bad.
It'd be like human meat, you know?
Yeah.
I found human meat gets me really
Might as well
peeled.
just people.
Yeah.
I'm going to clean that part up before you post this.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
YouTube will think I'm actually talking about being a cannibal.
Yeah, no good.
Okay.
The
So
way
this
this
is
guy
the-
edited this, by the way, is awesome. It's so quick. We can watch the whole video and not like be bored.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I mean, really, if I were to use one word here, I would say like just other level conditioning stands out. You know what I mean? That like it kind of reminded me like, oh yeah, this is what I really absolutely freaking love about bodybuilding is the level of conditioning these guys would get in.
Striated horseshoes all the way across the stage, every single guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, looking at this lineup, I mean, I know that Flex finishes second, but man, I think Shawn Ray, like,
Yeah.
to me, and like a lot of the poses, I keep going to Shawn instead of Flex. You know, it's just because he's so just complete. I know Flex has like a better back, but I don't really necessarily think he's a better bodybuilder. The conditioning on Ray is just sick.
Ooh.
The glutes and hams,
Yeah.
you know. Back on Dorian is just unbelievable.
The traps that always get me all the way down the middle. Like, what? the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, the tortoise shell back.
Exactly. Looks like it's pushing him forward. He can't help it. There's this
See,
crusher
Dillett's
that you're talking
triceps are
about.
totally striated. He's in shape.
Look at those
Huge.
veins across his pec. Do you see that? There's like just a
Yeah.
web
Oh,
of
yeah.
them between that shoulder.
He was definitely, what do they call him? Freakzilla or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Freakenstein.
Freakenstein, that's right. There it is. I knew
Okay,
it wasn't
yeah.
right.
Just throw a sport coat on him and have him walk around like this.
Yeah, this is.
The fact that Labrada is even up there
right?
in that group, you know, I mean, Shawn Ray's like what, 200 pounds, and Labrada's like 190, but
And
it's crazy.
And I like that it's still working for him. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
he played his strength. He knew, like, I mean, feel like a lot of guys would maybe try to push up to be bigger by today's standards, right? He was happy to be like, hey, I'm 189. You know, it's good. That's what I do good at.
Craziness.
And he gets
I don't know
rewarded
that
for
you
it.
could do that now, though.
No.
You know, because they're not going to give you that look. Because, like, for example, when you look at like Clarita, he is a freak. Like, it's not the same thing. Just because his weight is way less, like, he is an absolute super freak, so it doesn't matter. Whereas, you know, Labrada was something totally different.
Or what was his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Chris works with him. He was a smaller guy, put on a lot of size. He did really well this year.
Damn.
Jeez.
Throw some names at me, guys. Chris works with.
I feel like I
Dave,
would have known.
George, Greg, Glenn, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Glenn. Yeah, Glenn. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I remember seeing him at the Arnold a few years ago, and I was like, oh my God, this guy looks awesome. His shape was so perfect for what he was, but by comparison, it was a lot smaller, so like he didn't get a look at all, you know?
Right.
Raph, that's what I
Damn.
was thinking of.
Oh, Raph, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he looked awesome when I first saw him at the Arnold years ago, but it was just, he just didn't have the size to back it up, you know, to hang with them.
Yeah, he won what, 1 or 2 this year though. So
Yeah,
we'll be seeing him at the
now.
O.
He's a lot bigger now.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, they made these guys work on this pose down. Like they're
really
going. This is why Ron says to practice so hard.
Final awards. Final awards.
Let's see
Not
if they
final,
had the
final,
still
the
music
last
here?
one.
Oh, we got some sound now.
Kevin in 6th. And he was 2nd the year before, if you remember. Oh, yes.
She still wants to do him.
He's like, this is not the check I came for.
Listen to that audience,
How is that 5th place? Like,
right?
Oh, 5th place. Okay. So who is 6th? Paul? Paul must have been 6th. Or
no,
Lee,
I don't think. They haven't. Yeah, Paul was 6th. They just didn't show him on this part. So this is Lee, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got some voiceover.
What is that?
Some
That's some-
voiceover dubbing.
In another language.
There you go.
I'm a fan of that look.
The best part is Lee still looks like that, like his face and his physique.
Yeah.
But he's still bonkers. I don't know if you guys ever see. He's still shredded out of his mind.
Yeah,
It's
he looks
unbelievable.
fantastic. Quads are striated.
Yep. Triceps, just like that. It's nuts.
Third place. A check of $30,000 will be presented by Boyer Co. of Body Masters.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
A certificate, the third place certificate will be given by Shannon Bauman of Gold's Gym. The bronze Mr. Olympia.
So Boyer was still getting in shape at this time, too. He did that Masters Olympia in the 90s.
Yep.
You notice who one of the sponsors is? Panada. This is
I see
back in
that.
93. They've been over there for a long time.
And Boyer with Body Masters. I didn't know that he
Yeah.
was part of Body Masters until John Hansen recently told me that. I guess he designed a lot of that stuff.
Present the third place awards.
Oh, they're really building the suspense.
Yeah, it's killing
Sean
me.
Ray. Yeah.
I know the
Sean
answer.
Ray
It's
had-
still killing me.
Shawn Ray had already been 2nd to Lee Haney. So this was like frustrating as shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he got 2nd in 91. Or sorry, 90. He got 2nd in 90.
But hey, he's still hanging in that top 5, right?
Yeah. Because 91 was Haney, Dorian, Vince. And then 92 was Dorian, Kevin. Remember, Flex had won a bunch of shows this year. This was the year of Flex Wheeler kind of coming in and cleaning up. He was the new pro that was going to kill everyone, right? $50,000.
50K in 93. I'll take that.
That's like 200K now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a ton. He looked unreal. I mean, just ugh.
Look how young he is. He's probably what, 25?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I think that's the part that, like, you have to really realize when you look at bodybuilding now. Even the part that we were a part of is the guys were cleaner because they were cleaner. Like, it does look different for a reason. You know, how they put that muscle on and stuff was different. They're not as big, but I don't know that they're not as good.
Yates collecting big checks. 100 grand
There we
back
go.
then. 100 grand back
take
then
it.
bought you a house. Cash. That's
Yeah.
crazy, eh?
And then some. That doesn't buy you all the cars anymore.
No.
Yeah.
100 grand back then, you're mortgage free. I want that house. There.
Yeah.
Oh, big man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, he looks, I mean,
Zoom out.
Hard as
Let's see
nails.
the wheels. Let's see the wheels. Let's see the back. I'm not going to see any of that, I don't think.
yeah, no, they're just going to leave us alone on the close-up of the medals.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe. Nope.
No.
That was great.
That's
Little
good.
trip down memory lane, 93 Olympia. Then, so I saw Dorian. My first time seeing Dorian was 10 days after that show.
No kidding.
Yeah, that's because he came straight to Canada from that show and did a tour of Western Canada. These promoters brought him up, and he did like 6 or 7 different cities.
Yeah.
And I got tickets to see him in the one city, and that's where we went to meet him. So it was 10 days after that. And I remember I asked him, like, what have you eaten? And he's like, I had a couple of cheeseburgers at McDonald's, but
He's
otherwise
like,
I've been back on the
"Salmon,
diet."
would you
like some?
And Ron was like, I hate your salmon. I'll always hate your salmon. That was the first time Ron said no to a salmon.
Yeah.
So
he was 257 there, and I remember when I saw him guest pose, he was 264. I remember he told us he was 264. So in 10 days, he only was up 7 pounds off his stage weight.
So this event, you said that they toured around. What was this? Like where would this have taken place?
So there was, I think the stops were Edmonton, Calgary, Kelowna, Prince George, Vancouver.
Prince George, dang.
Yeah, like Midland. That's where I saw him.
Oh, you're
Prince
kidding
George.
me.
Yeah, because
wow.
I tried to get tickets for Edmonton and they were sold out.
Yeah.
So we drove 8 hours to Prince George.
That's where Victoria's sister lives up there. That's like the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere. But they had that's 5 cities. I think there was maybe one more stop. And there was no contests or anything. It was just a seminar and a guest posing.
Like
so
what
you
kind
bought
of
your ticket.
Yeah, what kind of building though? Like, is this an auditorium or what?
Yeah, mine was the one I saw was in a small theater. There was probably like 150 people there.
Okay.
And
That's so awesome.
And you just went in and you sat down, and it was a question period with Dorian.
Yeah.
He just came out and talked and answered questions for like an hour. And I sat in the front row and I asked like a dozen questions. And then he goes, okay, well, I'm going to take a little break and I'm going to come out and guest pose. And everyone's like, okay. So you kind of went and mingled in the lobby for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then they, ring the buzzer and everyone goes and sits down again. He comes out and guest poses. And then he went and sat in the lobby and signed autographs for everybody. And you kind of stood in line and waited, and you got your picture for $10 and he signed the 8x10 and that was it. And so the whole evening, it started at like 7 and you were out of there by 9.
Nice.
That's amazing, though.
That's pretty cool.
He did like 6 of those stops. And I remember we drove around. We got into town early that day, right? So we drove around to a couple of the gyms because I wonder what gym he's at. And there's only really 2 main gyms there.
Right.
And we went to the one gym. We're like, hey, is Dorian here? And they're like, no. We're like, ah, shit. So we went to the Golds, and we had to train. So we just stayed at the Golds and trained. And he never showed up there. And then when he came to the seminar, he showed up and he had a shirt from the other gym that we went to.
Oh.
I guess they were telling people no, but he did go there to train because he just didn't want, he didn't want to be hassled.
Yeah.
And we're like, And then I remember I saw the gym owner and I'm like, when did he train? And he goes, he came in about an hour after you guys left.
Lies, all lies.
I remember asking him, like, what did he do? And he goes, he actually didn't train that hard. He did like perfect sets of 10 and that was it. But he like loaded up the leg press, did like couple perfect sets of 10, did some extensions, because he's like, I guess whatever type of deloading Dorian would have done, just trained safe on the road and not kill himself for a week.
10 days after the,
But he did legs that day.
What's wild about Dorian is that his lore and everything has stood the test of time because, when Tommy came to England, we're sitting there and Dorian came up and I was like, hey, and we all said, hey, what's up? Because obviously we've seen him a million times. And Tommy, we introduced him, and a few minutes later, Tommy looks at me and goes, that was just crazy. And I'm like, what? He's like, what? And I just met Dorian Yates. And it was so funny because Tommy's not that way. At all.
No, he's
not. At all. And actually, in typical him fashion, 2 days later, I haven't seen him 3 times. It didn't matter anymore. But it was cool to see that like first moment because you're like, Dorian was retired long before Tommy was looking at bodybuilding.
Yeah.
But who he was and what he, and what he left is what Tommy came up on. So it was fun for me to watch because you do kind of forget.
Yeah. Was that at breakfast that morning when Dorian came into breakfast? And and I looked and he goes, hey, how's it going? And I stood up. Okay. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it was so classic to me though because I'm like, only knowing Tommy that it was like, it actually hit so much because anyone else would be like, yeah, it is cool. But for him, I'm like, the fact that even crossed your brain is awesome to me. Like that's who Dorian Yates is. So it was very cool.
Good times. Yeah, the day of the seminar guest posing with no show attached.
Yeah, that's over.
That's like,
no also, the day that someone drives 8 hours to go see one bodybuilder, is over.
Yeah,
unless it's Sam Sulik, they will absolutely do that for Sam.
Yeah, but they'll still buy some supplements at the store, right? They're still at a shop. There's still something else going on.
Yeah, there's something else to drive the reason that that guy's there.
Yeah, crazy.
That's wild.
Okay, well, thanks, fellas. Had fun. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, and
ring the bell.
And we mean it. Do all 4 of those things, all 5 of those things. They're important. They help us out a lot. And remember to like and comment the reels that we put up on Instagram and hit the shorts on YouTube and just do us all those.
It helps us more than you guys realize. It helps a ton.
Yeah, it really does. Argue in the comments, really get the algorithm going.
Yeah.
Okay, remember, Born Hardcore, IamMutant.com, 20% off Dusty 20, Big Ron 20. Get your all in, get your ISO surge, and everyone should get on the gear. Thanks, fellas. Remember, it's just bodybuilding reacts.
All right. Got it, guys.
Okay,
all right, fellas.
We're out of here.
See ya.
See you guys.